Our next presenter comes from Poland. This is our young colleague, Aleksandra Koska. Aleksandra is a PhD student at the Faculty of Law and Administration at the University of Gdańsk. In September 2015, she became an academic teacher, and since 2018 has been an assistant at University of Gdańsk. Aleksandra is the author of research articles in maritime law. In 2017, she carried out independent research on regulatory analysis floating storage regasification unit in Gulf of Gdańsk and was awarded a research grant, Young Scientist Project, awarded by the University of Gdańsk. Today, she will be talking about the role of standards for the safety of liquefied gas transport. Please, Anna.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank Professor Igor Dio for this opportunity to speak in front of maritime law specialist. It is my first speech in English, so I'm a little bit stressed. I will try to do everything. Okay. From the beginning, what is LNG? LNG is a fuel produced from natural gas by removing impurities and then changing the aggregate state under pressure at very low temperature, approximately minus 160 degrees. After liquefaction, a very pure, colorless, and odorless fuel is obtained, which does not possess any toxic or corrosive properties. The LNG is composed of mainly methane and small amounts of hydrocarbons. What are advantages of LNG? It is flexibility of supplies. What does it mean? LNG is a proven method, both in terms of being an effective way of diversifying gas supplies for certain countries, as well as covering the big demand for gas. The second one, output. During the liquefaction of natural gas into LNG, its capacity is reduced by approximately 600 times. This means that after regasification from 100 cubic meters of LNG, we received 60,000 cubic meters of natural gas. Third, economy. The cost of transport and storage of LNG are smaller than natural gas, for example, of petroleum. Its ecology. It emits much less pollutants into atmosphere during combustion than coal, petroleum, or other mined fuels. LNG is additionally purified. It is comprised of 95% methane with a small fraction of other components, and its security. Should a leak possibility occur, LNG simply evaporates and is rarefied in the atmosphere. It's less harmful and dangerous than petroleum. It is impossible to pollute the environment in the case of LNG leak. And some history. In 1956, the first shipment of LNG by the Methane Pioneer carrying 5,000 cubic meters of LNG from the Lake Charles, USA to Coney Island in UK. The 1960 Methane Princess and Methane Progress entered service as the first ships to carry cargo by oil. 1965, gas transport was established. 1967, first gas transport membrane installation of LNG carrier for Alaska. In 1973, first LNG carrier with spherical tanks built in the Moss Rosenberg shipyard in Norway. It's called Northern Lady. In 1979, SIGTO was established. In June, El Paso Kaiser runs aground at 17 knots of Gibraltar. And in July, the cargo from El Paso Kaiser is transferred to one of their sister ships, El Paso Sonata. It is the first ship-to-ship transfer between LNG carriers. The definition of gas carrier is in IGC code. It is a chapter of SOLAS, International Convention. Gas carrier is a cargo ship constructed or adapted and used for the carriage in bulk of liquefied gas or other products listed in the table chapter 90. We have types of gas carriers. Most type LNG carrier, spherical tank, named after the Norwegian company Moss Maritime that designed them. The most type vessels have 4 or 5 tanks. You can see it on the picture. And the membrane type LNG carrier. Here we are 2 systems differ the construction and material used to build the primary and secondary barrier and the installation between them. What are the main regulations of LNG transport? International conventions, SOLAS, IUC code, International Certificate of Fitness of the Carriage of Liquefied Gas in Bulk, International Fire Safety System, International Safety Management Code, International Ship and Port Facility Security Code. Of course, there are the chapters of SOLAS. The International Convention of Prevention of Pollution from Ships, MARPOL, International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification, and Load-Keeping, etc. And those, of course, EU regulations and national regulations. These regulations we can divide in 5 main groups: ship construction and equipment or port infrastructure, environment, ship and port security, crew qualifications, and procedures. And the soft law. All the guidelines, recommendation from SIGTO, OTIM, which gives us the best practices of using LNG, of carrying LNG. I would like to show you an example how much important are recommendations and guidelines. The example is bunkering. As we know, in Poland, for example, LNG transport is now very important because of terminal Świnoujście, for example. And the bunkering is one of the opportunity to use the LNG. Fuel transfer operation to the vessel, its bunkering, for the purposes of the standard, it refers to the embarkation of LNG only. In the context of this document, the bunkering relates to the transfer of LNG from a bunkering facility to a receiving vessel, taking place over a well-defined period of time, where the beginning, transfer, and the end of the operations follow a particular specified and documented procedure. It is the definition shows in EMSA guidance on LNG bunkering to port authorities and administration. And And here we are in Gdynia. It is a picture from a website of Port Gdynia. There was a few trials to bunkering, and they concerned about 4 methods of bunkering: from truck to ship, from bunkering barge, from shore storage installation or facility, and from ISO tankers. What's interesting, there is no any documents or instruction on the port website which shows how, what should we do to bunker the LNG ship. But as I said earlier, EXA shows us the main regulations for bunkering. And it shows 5 pillars of this system. The high level are conventions, for example, IGF code, so that's acceptable. The second one are standards, ISO, EM standards, and equipment standardization, class rules. And I found some information and recommendations for bunkering in Polish ship register, and industry guidance, as I said, SGMF guidelines, also CITO and also recommendations. And the last one are 40 local regulations, which are connected with special infrastructure or conditions of the port. What are the conclusions? All these documents, the hard law, conventions, and soft law guidelines, manuals, creates an efficient system for safety and security of LNG transport. This is important because the technology development is very dynamic. The change of legal regulations is slow and not enough in this case. The answer of this is soft law. Guidance, recommendations, manuals created of the best practices verified in real life on the ships. It affects a limitation of a risk conducted with transport of the cargo like LNG, cryogenic, dangerous substance transported in special conditions, low temperature, and appropriate pressure. As we see in the both situation, carriage LNG and bunkering LNG, the role of the soft law is very important. In my opinion, the special cargo case shown us the solution for achievement of a high level of safety and security of ships without changing the provisions of the hard law. It is confirmed in statistics of the accidents of LNG carriers. There wasn't a serious accident. The best procedures and tips are created in real life, in practice of the crew. It is also beneficial for the LNG companies to mitigate the risk of the transport and loading procedures. They use the experience of their employees to create effective internal safety risk management system and identify the weakness in procedure and competence. So we have high level of safety and security, less accidents, human errors, prevention effect, well-trained crew, better safety and security risk management system, benefits for the countries, people, crew and society, environment and companies, modern industry with the best technologies without waiting for the regulation changing. Thank you.